This is the website that we'll be designing today. It's an online course website and it is fully functional. By the end of this video, you are going to have a website where you can sell your own courses and charge for them. Here is what we'll be designing in this tutorial. So let's take a look here at the dashboard. So each student will have their own dashboard and this will showcase all their courses. And when you expand this, it's going to show the course progress as well. Now, let's say you want to go in and take a look at one of the courses. You can just click over here. Now, this page is special because I've designed this using the Divi theme builder. So I'm going to show you how to make it look beautiful. And over here on the bottom, you can see we have all our modules. I'm going to show you step by step how to create all these modules and also the courses. Now, take a look at this. If I click on this welcome course, you're going to notice that we have a layout here, which is beautiful. We can collapse it like that to get more screen real estate. And if you want to move on to the next one, you can just click over here. So as you can see, we can have different types of lessons. So this one here is just text-based. And when you're complete with this, you can just mark as complete. Now over here, we also have a video. I show you step by step how to add a video on your course. Now here we also have materials. So if you have materials that your students need to upload, we can add them as well. And I show you step by step how to add this. We also have a page here that showcases all the courses. And as you can see here, this looks beautiful. I show you step by step how to put this together. We also have a filter here just in case you have quite a lot of courses. So you can filter based on price and also some keywords. Over here, when we click on enroll now, it's going to show us the landing page of our course. And you can see here that it shows us that we're not enrolled. It's got the price and it also gives us a link to take this course. Now, this is going to be the payment link. So the first thing that you really have to pay attention to and really consider is good hosting, because if you go for hosting that is not very good, you're going to have a lot of problems on your online course website, because the last thing you want is to have students who are complaining that your server is down or your service is very, very slow. So SiteGround is what I highly recommend for hosting your website, because we are using Divi for this example, and SiteGround is optimized to work really, really well with Divi. So this is why this is my first option for hosting. Now I will leave a link to SiteGround and this will give you a huge discount. So over here, if we go to start now, you'll see that we have 83% discount. Here we have 85%. So when it comes to choosing between these two, you want to choose the one that really works for you. So for example, if you're going to be hosting one website, then you want to go with this plan. But if you want to go for unlimited websites, then you want to go for this one here. So for this example, I'm just going to go with this one here because the price is just slightly different. I mean, this is £1.99 per month. This is $3.99 per month. Now, if you're in the US, this changes to dollars. So just bear that in mind. All right. So if I say get plan, now signing up for this is very, very straightforward. You just have to go through the steps of filling in the form. But before you start filling in the form, what's important here is the fact that you need to specify whether you have a domain name or you don't. So if you don't, then you want to come over here and enter your new domain. So the extensions here are quite a lot. So you can see here we have country domains. We also have generic domains like .club, .estate, .me, .photography, .pro, and so on. So in my case here, we're going to use an example where I have a domain name already. So what you want to click here on continue. So this is where you want to add your email, password, confirm your password, and so on. So once you've entered all the client information, so as you can see here, I've entered my first name, last name, the postcode, and the phone number. The next part here is where you get to enter your payment information, which is your credit card, the expiration date, and also the year. And then over here, you want to add your cardholder's name and also the CVV code. All right, so over here, you can see that the deal is there. So the bill will be $47 because this is an 83% off. And this is a 12-month deal. So as you can see, this is very, very affordable. So I would highly recommend that you use this. And I'm also giving you a bonus. If you purchase SiteGround using my affiliate link in the video description below, I will give you access to a Divi University as well. All right, so once all this is done, you're going to get an email with the username and password to the control panel for SiteGround. So once you log into the control panel, this is where you can set up a WordPress installation. This is very, very easy to do. It's probably 3 clicks and pretty much you have a basic WordPress website. So this is what the website looks like on the front end. This is a basic WordPress install, but what you want to do is to spend most of our time working on the admin dashboard. So over here is where we have the WordPress admin dashboard. So with this all set, the next step now is to choose a page builder. Now a page builder is very important for projects like this, and there's quite a few to choose from. We have Elementor, we have Divi, we also have Bricks Builder, and sometimes maybe you may want to go for Gutenberg itself. So there's quite a few options, but in this example we're going to be using Divi. It's one of the most popular page builders out there, and it has close to 1 million users. So what you want to do, again, the link to that is in the video description below. So you'll come over here to unlock the power of Divi, click on join Divi today, and now you have the pricing. So as you can see here, we have 2 prices. We have 89 per year, but the most important thing here is you get to build as many websites as you want. As you can see here, it's unlimited websites, or you can go for the lifetime. So for the lifetime here, it's $249 for one time, which is the one that I have. But you also have this $297, which you can pay today. And this gives you a bit more. There is Divi AI over here. We also have Divi Cloud and Divi VIP. And you can also invite 4 team members. So this is mostly for anyone who has an agency. But I would say if you're just one-man band, just go with this one here. Okay, so I already have an account, so I'm going to come over here and log in. All right, so this is my members area. The next step now is to download Divi. So I'm going to click here to download the Divi thing. Okay, so now that's downloaded, we want to come back over here to our website and then go to appearance and then click on themes. This is where we're going to go in and add our theme by clicking over here. And since we've downloaded it, we want to come over here now to upload theme and then choose the file. So my file is in the downloads folder, and here it is. I'm going to double click on it and then click on install now. Next, we're going to click on activate. So now we need to activate our license by clicking over here to log in to activate. Enter your username and password and then click on login. And now we're greeted with this dashboard over here. So this is looking great. So immediately what you can do is to come over here to quick sites and then start building your site that way. But before we do that, we need to install Learndash, because that's what we're going to use for managing all our courses on our website. So let's head over to learndash.com. Now, Learndash is a very powerful learning management system. So you can see here it's used by the University of Florida, Keep, Digital Marketer. We also have Tony Robbins and so on. So it's very, very powerful, and it's been out there for a very, very long time. So what you want to do here is to click on Learndash LMS, because that's what we are after here. And then we are going to choose which one is best for us. So we have 1 site, which is $199 per year. We also have 10 sites for $399. Then we also have unlimited. So if you just want to build one website, this is the license you want to go with. But I already have a license. So you want to come over here to subscriptions, because this is where you're going to have all your downloads. So I've already gone ahead and downloaded this ahead of time. So let's head over back to our website over here and install Learndash. So to do that, you want to come over here to plugins and then click on add new plugin. So I'm going to come over here to settings, and then you want to come over here on LMS license and then paste your license key that you can get from your dashboard from Learndash. Okay, so before we get started setting up our websites or our online course website, we need to choose our images that we're going to use so that they are already on our system as we're building our website. So for this example, I'm going to use a website called pexels.com. Now, this website has royalty-free images. In your case, you want to use images that you have taken yourself to make your website unique to yourself. All right, so I'm going to come over here. So let's say this website is about teaching people how to do knitting. So the tutorials and the courses are all about knitting. So I'm going to search for knitting here like that, because I really want some images here that would represent what my website is about. So what you want to do here is to go in and choose the images that you want to add to your website. So I think this one here is great. I like the colors. So let's go ahead and download it. Now, as I mentioned, these are royalty-free images as well, so it's similar to the other website. So I'm going to go with this one here, and now we have all our images on our website. So it's easier now to access them as we're building our website. So now it's time to set up our website. So what we need to do is to head over here to the dashboard, or the Divi dashboard. So you want to hover over here and then click on dashboard. It's time now to work on our website. So the first thing you want to do is to head over here to quick sites. So you click on generate a new site. So now we are greeted with these two options. So I don't really want to go with AI, and I also don't want to use these starter sites because I want to show you the process of actually doing this manually. So we're going to come over here and skip and build manually. Okay, so with this all set now, pretty much it's telling us that our license here is set up and everything is good. So I want to come straight over here to pages, click on all pages. And this is where we're going to start adding all our pages that we need and delete those that we don't need. So here we have this sample page. We don't really need that, so I'm going to trash it. So I know for sure we're going to need a dashboard. So this is the page that when a student goes and clicks on that, they get to see all their information on it, including their courses and also any information. So what I'm going to do now is to name this dashboard, and then I'm going to say publish. Okay, so the next page we're going to need is a login page. So I'm going to click on add new. Again, I'm going to hit publish. Now notice that I haven't gotten into the Divi builder yet, because this is just me setting up everything that I need for now. Next, we're going to need a page where someone can go and reset their password. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're just going to call this reset, or let's call it reset password. Publish one more time. Next, we also want to have a reset success page. The next page we're going to need is the main home page. So let's go ahead and create that as well. And then finally, we're going to need the contact page. So now that we have all our pages so far, the next step is to head over here to settings. Then you want to click on reading. So the point of this is to make sure that we set our static page as the home page. So we're going to go and select our home here, save changes. Okay, great. The next thing we're going to do is to set our fonts. So what I want to do here is we're going to come over here to appearance, and then we're going to go to themes and then choose customize. And then we're going to go to typography. And first of all, we're going to set this to 16 because 14 is a bit too small. 1.7 is fine. And then over here on the default font, we want to change this to Poppins because that's the font I'm going to use. But in your case, you can choose whatever font that you may wish. So here it is. I'm also going to do the same for our normal text. So this was the header font, and now we're going to go to the body font, and then I'm going to publish. Now we also have an option here to work on our header. So let's go to header and navigation, and we're going to go to our primary header. So here we're going to make this full width, and the height, I'm going to increase this to about 78. Text size, I'm going to set this to 16, and I want to make this all caps. And I'm also going to add 1 on our letter spacing. In fact, 16 is a bit too much. Let's go with 15. Okay, that's much better. And then we're going to go ahead and publish. Now, at some stage, we may want to come back to this and make further customizations, but for now, we're pretty much good to go. All right, so I'm going to close out of here, and we want to make sure that our menu here is set correctly. So let's go ahead and do that by coming over here to our settings. In fact, it's appearance, and then we want to go to menus, and this is where we can rearrange them the way we want. But before we rearrange them, we need to add our menu. So we're going to call this main menu, and then we're going to assign this to the primary menu. This is very, very important. Next, we're going to click on create menu. So now we have the ability to come over here and say all pages, so we can see all of them, and then we can select the ones we need to add on this menu. So the dashboard here, I'm going to leave that as it is. I'm going to set the login, and I'm going to leave these as they are. In fact, I may need to add the reset password. Okay, so now I'm going to click on add to menu, and these are our pages. You can rearrange them by just dragging and dropping them like that. So it's pretty straightforward. Okay, now let's click on save menu, and you're going to notice now that when I go to our site, this is going to have a totally different layout. See, now we have home, reset password, contact, and login. Excellent. So far so good. The next step now is to go in and start designing our main homepage. So as you can see here, I'm already on my homepage. So I want to go straight into the Divi by coming over here. Now I already have images that I've added, but if you haven't added your images, you want to do that ahead of time. In fact, let me just show you quickly how you can go in and add your images. So I'm going to come back over here to WordPress, go to your media, and then you just need to select all your images like that, and they are now all added onto your media library, which means when you start designing your websites, they're going to be very, very easily accessible. All right, so let's start working on our main homepage. We just want to make a nice, beautiful design. Okay, so let's dive in now and let's do this. So over here, we want to go to all pages. Now remember, we created our homepage already, so all we have to do now is to go and start building it with Divi. All right, so here's our page here. I'm going to click on edit with Divi. I'm going to come over here to build from scratch. And what I'm going to need here is a full width header. So I'm going to come over here to full width. And I'm going to go with full width header. Excellent. Next, I'm going to snap this over to the left so I can see my design as I'm designing this. And the next step now is to just drag this to the top like that. And then I'm going to go into the settings. So here we can give this a title. So now that I have my title and my description, next I'm going to come over here to design and then click on layout. So let's center all this like that. And then over here, we're going to make this a full screen so that our image here will sit very well on this design. Next, we're going to come back over here to our content, and then we're going to go to background. Now, you see this color that we have here, we don't really need that. So let's go ahead and choose black. And then over here on the image, we are now going to choose our image that's going to represent our online course, which is in this case, knitting. So we have some images in the media library. So I'm going to click here on media library. So you can choose the one that you want to go with. I think this one here is just fine. I'm going to click upload. Okay, so that looks great. Next, I'm going to come back over here now to design, and I want to go to overlay. So the first thing I'm going to do is to add my color, and now this is going to cover the whole thing. So to adjust this, I'm going to click on this eyedropper tool, and then I'm just going to slide this down a little bit so I can reveal what's underneath. Look at that. Okay, so far so good. Now I want to go in and customize this text. So I'm going to hover over here and click on this paintbrush icon so I can go directly into this text and start playing around with my design. So I'm going to increase the size too big. So let's go with maybe 38 and see how that looks. Okay, I think that's much better. So far so good. So here I'm just going to change the context and say use custom styles. So this is where we can get to change the color. So what I'm going to do here is the text color here is going to remain white. And then I'm going to go to my button background color and choose this orange. And I'm also going to do the same to the border. And that looks great. Okay, so now I want to change this text which says click here to something else. So let's go to our link. And you can see here that we have an option for button URL. So for now, I'm just going to add a blank one. And then I also need to change the text on the button. So I'm going to come over here. So here you can see it says click here. I'm going to say get started. Right. So far so good. We have managed to go in and create our main hero area for our page. So let's go ahead now and save this page. And then we're going to exit the Visual Builder. The next step now is to design and add our content to our courses. So we're going to do this under Learndash. So we're going to come straight to courses. So let's add our first course by clicking here on add your first course. So here I'm going to add the title of the course, which is Knit Like a Pro. So I want to go ahead and publish this right away. Next, I'm going to come over here to featured image. So this is going to be the image that's going to represent our main course. So the image I'm going to use is going to be this one right here. I'm going to go ahead now and set featured image. Now I also need to add some description here to my information here to my course. I'm going to go to my default editor. Now I'll show you in a moment why it's important to go to the default editor. So I'm just going to paste a basic description here, click on update, and pretty much I am good. Next, we are now going to come over here to the builder. So this is the course builder. It's going to help us put our course together. So the first thing I'm going to do is to start adding my sections. So I'm going to click here on new section, and this is going to be my module 1. So we're going to add another one. So this time, this is going to be module 2. So you want to continue doing this until you have all the set modules. And then the next step now is to start adding all our content. So you notice that when you hover over here, you have the ability to click on edit, and this is where you can go in and start adding all your information. Okay, so this is our lessons page. So I'm going to pretend that these videos here for knitting. So I'm going to come over here and copy the link, and then back over here, I'm just going to go in and search for Vimeo. In fact, let me click on this plus button here and then search for Vimeo. And here it is. And by the way, you can add your courses or your lessons from YouTube if you wanted to. Next, I'm going to click on embed. Now, if you wanted to add some text in here, you can go in and add a paragraph. Just like that. So now I'm going to click on update. Okay, so with that now, I'm just going to come back and click on update. Now for this course, we also have the settings tab. Now this is also very, very important because if you want to add lesson materials, you can come over here and activate this like that. And then you can start adding all your information. So let's say this paragraph here is describing the lesson information. I can now just highlight the text here. If I need to link them to somewhere else, I can just add my hyperlink just like that. and then apply. If I want to assign uploads, I can always come over here and allow that option. And here I can specify the file limit. So you can see here, this is 60 meg. So I can maybe bring it down to maybe 30 meg if I need to, but I'm going to leave that as it is. So the grading type here, I can leave it as manual, or I can go in and auto approve, but we're not going to mess around with all this. So pretty much we are good to go. This is not a sample lesson, so we're going to leave this as it is. And then when I scroll back over to the top here, we can see that pretty much we are good to go. I'm going to hit update, and then I'm going to go back to lessons. So with this all set now, all you need to do is want to add a lesson is to come over here to new lesson. So I'm just going to say new lesson like that. Click on add lesson, and I can now drag and drop it wherever I want. So maybe I want to drag it to module 3. So anyway, for the first example here, I did a video. Okay, so I want to do something different here. So let's go ahead and edit. In fact, before I do that, I want to make sure that I hit update. So I'm going to grab a bunch of text here, just dummy text, because this one here is going to be a lesson without a video. All right, so now that we've got this, I can go in now and click on edit. Okay, so now I'm going to paste my text like that. And let's say I want to add an image. I can just come over here, click on this little plus button, and I'm going to search for my, in fact, it's right here. Click on image, and now I can go to media library and choose my image. So the image I'm going to go with is this one right here. Click on select. Now, if there's anything else I need to add from this lesson here, I can always go ahead and add it. But as I mentioned before, it's important that we're not using the Divi builder for all of this, because I'm going to be using the Divi theme builder to customize all our pages. Again, if I click on view lesson, we'll notice that this is the actual layout. So now that we have our two layouts, we have this one here, and we also have this one. I'm going to leave these tabs open because I want to show you something really amazing. All right, so with that all set now, the next step is to head over here to our dashboard, because I want to now customize our pages. So the other page I want to show you as well is the course landing page. So I'm going to come over here to courses, and I am going to view it. Okay, but I'm going to view this in a new tab, which has opened right here. So again, this is what the page looks like. Okay, you see that? All right. So what we're going to do now is something special. I'm going to come all the way down here to Divi, and then I'm going to go to a theme builder. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to come over here and create a brand new template, and I'm going to build new template. So now I can choose what template this is. I'm going to come all the way down here and look for anything associated with Learndash. So I have my quizzes here, I have lessons, I have pretty much quite a lot to choose from. So what I'm going to do is I want the course page to be custom built. So I'm going to come over here to all courses and then click on create template. Next, I'm going to come over here to add custom body, build custom body. So this is going to be the design for all the course landing pages. All right. So first things first, I'm going to click here on this plus button, and I'm going to add a single column. Now in this column, we're going to add text module like that. Right. So what I'm going to do next is to come over here to dynamic content. So here we can add our post or archive title like that. Okay. So now that we have this all set, what I'm going to do next is to just save for now, because I want to add an image here in the background. But to do that, I'm going to come over here to section settings, and then I'm going to come over here to design. Click on layout. In fact, no, we need to go to sizing. So here we are going to go with maybe 80 VH for our height. But for us to see what's happening, we need to add some design to this. So I'm going to start here with adding a background image. I'm going to add my background image. Now this is going to be our course. So I'm going to select it and then click on upload image. All right, so now we have this image here in the background. Next, we are going to add an overlay to that. So I'm going to come over here to my background color. I'm going to add black. And then while this is selected, I'm now going to come over here to my background image. I'm going to scroll all the way down here until we find image blend. So we want to make sure that this is set to multiply, because this will allow us now to go in and show a bit of the background by coming back to the background. So over here now, I'm just going to slide this down a little bit so it starts revealing that image in the background. Look at that. Awesome, right? Okay, so now that I have that, now let's go in and set our sizing. So minimum height, oh, this was supposed to be on minimum height. So let's go in and set this to, 80 VH. But the challenge that we have here, in fact, we may set this to 60 VH because that's a bit too much. Okay, great. So the challenge that we have here is our text is up there in the top. So we need to change that. So let's go ahead and save for now. So now if we need to center this text, we need to add a bit of CSS code by coming over here to advanced. I want to go ahead and save, and we're going to go in now and customize this text. So I'm going to click here on this gear icon to go into our text settings. Next, we're going to come over here to design, and then we're going to increase the size. So let's go with maybe 2 EM, and I'm going to add a bit of letter spacing, and I'm also going to capitalize this and make it bold. Okay, we may need to increase this a little bit. Right, so this is going to be the title of our course. Let's go ahead now and center it because I think it looks better centered. So here's our text align, and then we're going to save. All right, that's great. The next step now is to add another section by clicking on this plus button. We're going to go to regular single column. So what we're going to do in here is we're going to add our post contents like that. And then pretty much we are good to go. Let's go ahead and save this, and then we're going to close out of here. Let's save one more time. Okay, so remember, this is the page that we had. Hopefully now, if I refresh this, we're going to have a different design. And sure enough, you see now that we have a beautiful design with all our content. And this is the power of Divi. This is why I chose Divi, because it's very flexible to go in and do these type of customizations. Okay, great. So what we're going to do now is to further customize this, because I can see here that this Knit Like a Pro can be actually changed a little bit. So we're going to go back. Now, this is what you do at any point if you want to go in and make some changes. So now I'm going to go back up here, and maybe this text here should not be bold. We can always come back over here. Okay, we can even go with regular. Now let's fix our line height by coming over here. Okay, let's set it to, let's say 1.3. Yeah, I think that looks fine. Now, if there's anything that we may need to add here, we can always go in and add the text. So let's say we duplicate this. We can go into the settings. We can delete over here the post archive, and then we can change the dynamic content here to something else. So there's quite a lot to choose from, as you can see here. There's course ID. So I haven't used this one before. So let's go in and add it. And let's see what happens. I'm going to save that, and then we're going to refresh it. Okay, so that hasn't shown. I'm not sure what that is for, but it's okay. We can always go in and further play around with this. So we don't want the course ID here. So let's change this to something else that's functional. So let's say we can add a current date here, and we can also go with custom if you wanted to. But anyway, I'm going to leave it like that. And then we're going to further customize this to just make it look a bit different from what we have there on the top. So now I'm going to set my size here to 1.2 like that. We're going to change the color, and then we're going to refresh. And here we go. So Knit Like a Pro, we have our publish date here. And this is looking great. So now if I click on welcome, it's now going to take us to our course landing page. Now this is also the page that we need to fix. So I want to leave this open here so that you can see the change when it happens. So to do that, we're going to come over here to Learndash, and then we're going to go to settings. So here on the settings page, we want to activate just this one thing called focus mode. I'm going to select that, and now you can see here is activated. So now we can choose our default content width. I usually go with 1180, but of course you can play around with this and choose whichever one you like. Here it also has an option for login and registration. So if you activate that, we have now a customized registration enabled for Learndash courses. I want to go ahead and save that. Now we also have another option here. We also have video responsive CSS. So this, if you're not sure what this is, you can just click over here for the help, and this will explain that this will make your videos within the video progression responsible, disable if you notice video display issues. Okay, let's activate that, and pretty much that's all I need. I'm going to hit save. So when we take a look now at our course, this is what it looks like. I am now going to refresh this, and you're going to notice that this is going to look way much better. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Now we have this tab for materials. So you can go over here. We can upload assignments. We can move on to the next lesson. Over here, we can click, and this can take us, or it can give us information to download whatever it is that you've set. But this is pretty cool. So now, if you want to give yourself more screen real estate, you can just click on that, and now we have this distraction-free way of learning. Okay, great. So now that we have this all set, we can go in now and add more courses and so on. But we're not there yet. What we're going to do next here is to sort out our login and registration. Now remember, we created our pages already. So I'm going to come over here and select my page. And here it is. It's the login. So I'm going to hit save. And we are now going to take a look at the login page and see what it looks like. So I'm going to copy my link here, and then I'm going to open this in incognito mode. Okay, so we have our login over here. I'm going to click on that. And you can see here that we don't have any information yet, but I'm going to fix this in a moment. So to fix that, what we need to do is to go in and create the page itself. So I'm going to come over here to all pages and let's go to the login, click on edit. In fact, this needs to be edited with Divi. So I'm going to say edit with Divi. So in order for us to set up our login page, I'm going to need some shortcodes. So I'm going to come all the way down here and look for the shortcode for our login. So you can either add it this way, or you can design the page in such a way that it will use the Gutenberg blocks. Okay, so we're going to look for our login. So here it is. This is the Learndash login. I'm going to copy that and then save. So you may want to add a bit more text here. So I'm going to duplicate this and then just go in and say, or login below. Let's make it bold. So what I may want to do over here is to go into my section settings, design, and we're going to come over here to sizing. In fact, we're going to go to spacing. I'm just going to add a padding of 6%, both to the top and the bottom, just to give this a bit of breathing space. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and save. And this time, if I now go and take a look at this page in a new incognito window, this should now look much better, hopefully, fingers crossed. So you can see here the shortcode is showing. Now, another way to do this is to delete this, and then you want to edit the page, discard and exit, and then this time we're going to return to default editor. And here I'm going to search for Learndash, and you can see here we have our Learndash login. So we can just do this, do this way. It's much easier if you want to do it this way. I'm going to hit update. So now you're going to have your login form. So let's move on to the next page. So along our list here, we also have our dashboard. So let's go ahead and edit this page. So what you're going to notice is I'm editing all these pages just using the Gutenberg blocks. It's much easier, and we are able to go in and customize the look and feel of our website if we do it this way by going into the theme builder, the Divi theme builder. All right, so over here again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to click here and search for Learndash, and this time I want my profile, so I'm going to go with Learndash profile like that, and then I'm going to go ahead and click on update. Now let's take a quick look at this page by clicking on view this page, and you can see that this is my profile and it shows my course that I'm signed up to, and if I click on that, it's going to take me to the actual course landing page. All right, great. What we're going to do next now is to customize these pages, because right now you can see this doesn't look great. So we are going to leave this open, and we're going to come back all the way down here to Divi, and then we're going to go to theme builder. So let's create a brand new template, and then we're going to say build new template. So what's going to make this template different is we are going to apply this to all the pages. Okay. But once we create the templates, I'm going to exclude some pages. So over here now, I can go into my settings, and then I'm going to come over here to exclude from. I'm going to exclude from the home page, and I'm also going to exclude this from the courses right here. So I can continue on and exclude this design from any page that I may want to choose. So with all that said now, I'm going to come over here to add custom body, build custom body. So for this, it's going to be a basic design. So we're going to come over here and add our title. So let's go ahead and add a text module like that. And then over here, this is going to be our page title. So we're going to go to post or archive title. All right, let's save this for now. And then we're going to give this a background color. So these can be colors that work with your branding. So I'm just going to go with, maybe I can just go with this color here, but I'm going to make it a bit dark. Okay. So that's going to be my color. I'm going to go ahead and save. And then over here, I'm also going to adjust my text by coming over here to design text. I'm going to make it slightly bigger. So let's go with 2EM. In fact, maybe 1.6 will do, because that's a bit too much. But in your case, you want to go in and just test it around and see what works. So I'm going to go with white, but again, the white is a bit too much. So I want to make it a slight gray. like that. All right, that looks much better. And I'm going to go ahead and save. Next, I'm going to add another section. And in this section, I am going to add a single column, and I'm going to add my post contents. All right, so I'm pretty much happy with that. In fact, you know what? Let me add a bit of breathing space here in the settings by coming over here to design, and then you want to go to spacing, and let's add 4% to the top and the bottom. Now, if this is not enough, you can go ahead and increase it like that to maybe about 6% and then save. Okay, so now that we've created this page, let's go ahead and close out of here, save and exit. And then what we're going to do is we're going to save one more time. So far we've created a template for all our course landing pages. And then we also have all pages, which is great. Now let's see if this works by coming over here. I'm going to refresh this page and boom, just like that. Now I have my title here and I have my content. I really like that. So I want to do a few more tweaks here to make this look great by coming over here, because I think that as I'm looking at this, there's just too much padding here and I'd rather have this centered. So first of all, we're going to give this some breathing space. So we're going to come over here to design, spacing, and we're going to set this to 4%. So this is going to be applied both to the top and the bottom. I'm going to save that. We're going to do the same over here. Go to design, spacing, bring this down to 4. And then on the text here, we're going to go in and center it. So we're going to come over here to design, text, and then we are going to center it like that. And you know, for my texts, I'm just going to give this some letter spacing, and I'm also going to make this all caps. I think this will look better, and let's increase the size a little bit. How about that? Okay, great. Now I can go ahead and save, and I think this is going to look much better now. So let's head over here now to our page, and boom. Okay, look at that. So now this is our dashboard. If I now go to contact, for example, it's going to have all our page titles. And then I can always add in our contact form over here. For our login, it's going to be the same thing. We're going to have login here, and then we're going to have our form. For our password reset, it's also going to have password reset here. And then if I come over here to the home, you're going to notice that the home will not have the title here on the top because I've excluded it. Okay, so far everything's looking great. I just need to go in here now and add more information. So for example, here I may need to list all my courses. So let's go ahead and do that. Right, my eyes are itchy for some reason. Anyway, so over here we have our shortcodes. So what I'm going to do is I'm looking for a shortcode to list all our courses. So let's search for course. Right, so this will show our courses in a list. So that's the one I want. I want to copy that like that. And then back over here, let's close out of here and we need to go into our home page. Where is it? Okay, it's right here. Next, we're going to enable the visual builder. And now let's add a text module. But first of all, we need to add our row. And then we're going to search for our text module here. And let's go into our text mode. Because what I've noticed is when I copied it and pasted it like that, when I come over here to the text, it comes in with all this CSS. So what we want is just a clean code, just like that. And then we are going to save. Okay. So on the top here, I may also need to add a title to this. So let's go with text, and I'm just going to call this, okay, all courses. And then we're going to save this, but we are going to drag this to the top because right now it's on the bottom and that's not what we want. Now, at the moment, you notice that when I add this, it is not showing, the proper way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this page because there's a plugin that I need to add that's going to make this look nicer. Okay, so back over here, we're going to go to Learndash, come all the way over here to add-ons. So the one we need is called Course Grid. So we're going to come over here and download it. And by the way, it also shows you the shortcode that you need to use for that. So now that we have it, I just want to make sure that when I go to my plugins, it's also activated. So I'm going to come over here, and sure enough, it's not activated. So we want to make sure that it's activated. So we're going to click on activate. And now when I come back over here and refresh the page, you're going to notice now that it's going to look much better. Okay, so let's scroll down. We're going to exit the visual builder, and here we go. So you can see here, Need Like a Pro, continue to study. So this will now take me to the actual course. And now I can go ahead and click on welcome, and I can continue now to go and learn. So the question now is, what if we want to make this a paid course? Because right now it can be accessed by anyone. So let's just copy this and open a new incognito window so you can see what I mean. So if I go to file and then new incognito window, and I paste my website. So I'm going to scroll down here and we can see it's right here. If I click on enroll now, you can see it says free, and over here you can see that it is free. I can now log in and enroll, and notice that this is my login. I can log in with my username and password and then enroll. But the thing is, we want to make this a paid course. Now look at all this information that has just come over here. This is fantastic because this is all built into Learndash. Okay, so let's drag this away. So if we want to make a course a paid course, what you want to do is to head over to courses. So we're going to go to Learndash, go to courses, and we need now to select this course. So I'm going to click on edit. So you want to go to the settings of this particular course, which is right here. So this is where now you can see it says free. So there's several options here. I can leave it open, and this means that it's not protected. This one here needs someone to log in, and then we also have a buy now here. Now this is the one that's protected by PayPal or Stripe. So I can go in here, add my price. So let's say the price for the course is $97. The course enrollment URL. So what I'm going to do now is set this, because this is my main course landing page. So I'm going to copy that and paste it in here and then update. So now let's see if this is going to work. So here we are on our incognito window. We're going to go back to Divi, or our main site. Straight away, you notice now it has $97 here. If I click on enroll now, it takes me now to my page, and now it's telling me we have a price. And if I click on take this course, it's now taking me to my login page. You would need to create a specific landing page for this course in order for you to have it to work that way. So in our case here, we haven't created that yet, but we can create a specific page, which will be the page where you enter all your payment details before you get access to the course. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go back and make further customizations. I'm just going to drag this, clean up this dashboard, because there's so much stuff here that we don't need. So you want to click here on the top. In fact, let me remove myself here so you can see what I'm clicking on. So you want to go in and remove all this. Okay, so it's time now to fix all our other pages, like for example, the password reset page. Let's go ahead and do that, because right now we don't have the ability to go in and reset our password. So over here, what I'm going to do now is click on edit. We're going to go to return to default editor, click on this plus button, and I'm going to search for Learndash. So this is where we're going to get all our information. So for example, I want to go in and add a reset. So here it is. So that's my reset. Click on update. Now let's view the page. And there we go. We have our password reset. So what I can also do here is I can go in and further customize this, because as you can see, it's a bit too wide. So it doesn't look great. So this is where you can go in and customize this form width. We can go in here and maybe set it 80%. Now, if that's a bit too much, you can go down to, let's say 60. So I can either show the preview here or not. We also have some advanced features here. You can go in and adjust that, but I'm going to leave things quite basic here. Click on update. So now that our password reset page has been designed, the next step now is we are going to need a very good contact form. So to do that, I'm going to come over here to plugins and then add new plugin. The plugin I'm going to use is called Fluent Forms. So let's search for it here, and here it is. I'm going to click install now and then activate. Right, so now that we have Fluent Forms, I can now come over here to new form, and let's start with a blank form. However, there is a few templates here if we need to use that, but I just want to go with the blank form so I can show you how to create one. So over here, we can drag our fields. So let's say we want the name field. You can either drag and drop it, or you can just click on it. So the next one here is going to be the email, and then we're also going to need the message itself. So let's see, let's add our text area, and I think that's all we need for this. So here on the top one, I'm going to click in, and I don't want the last name, so I'm going to remove that. And then for the actual button here, you can change the title over here from submit form to pretty much whatever you want. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to go ahead now and save. Now I can also give it a name here. So let's say you want to change this from form 3. You can call this contact form like that, rename, and then save. So there's two ways to add this form. You can either click here to copy the shortcode, and then let's go to our pages, all pages. So now on our contact, we're going to click on edit. So over here, we're going to go to default editor, click on this plus button. Now let's search for Fluent Forms, and there we go. So we can click here on Fluent, then we can select our form, and my form here is called contact form, so you can see how easy it is to go in and select it. Okay, so that's looking pretty cool. I can now hit update and let's view the page, and sure enough, we have our contact page here and it has our form, and that looks great. So we've done our contact, we've done our login, we've done our password reset. Let's head over back to our home page, because there may be a few other designs that we may need to come in here and do. So far we have this area here, which is going to showcase all our courses. So let's go in and enable the visual builder so we can add more sections here just to make the design look much better. So let's add a brand new section over here. So this is going to be a regular section, and we're going to add 2 columns. So for this, we're also going to add an image. But before we do that, let's go ahead and add a color and a bit of padding so that at least our design here is very consistent. So I want to go with a very light gray. So let's drag this all the way up like that. Now, I usually like doing this because it distinguishes all my sections. So now that I have this, I'm now going to go to design and set my spacing over here to, let's say, 4%. In fact, let's go with 6. So that's both to the top and the bottom. Now over here, as you can see, this side here is smaller and this one here is bigger. So I want to add an image over here to the left. So I'm going to search for my image module like that. Now notice that right now I'm using the Divi Builder to create my home page, unlike the other pages, because we created a template for all those pages. Okay, so now I can go in and choose my image. So the one I'm going to go with is, let's try this one here, upload image. Okay, that looks great. I can add some rounded corners by coming over here to design, border, and let's go with 6 maybe. Okay, let's go ahead and save. Now over here, I can add some text. So I'm going to search for my text module. Right, so here we're going to add a bit of text, and we are going to make this a heading. So we're going to make sure that this is set to heading 1. So come over here, change this to, in fact, let's make it heading 2. Okay, then we're going to save, add another paragraph, click here on this plus button, go to our text module here, and then this is where we're going to paste our text. Great. So now you can see that our page is coming along. We have our courses section here. We also have our bit of information about the knitting, for example. So you want to continue on and add your text and make some adjustments. But what I'm going to focus on now is the heading area here. I don't really like the way it looks. I need to go and change a few things here. And also, if you look at the footer here, this also doesn't look great. Okay, so I'm going to save this page, and it's time now to fix our footer. So before we can add content in here, let's close out of here and add a bit of padding over here, just like what we did before. So we're going to come over here to design, spacing, set this to 6% like that. And then we're going to go ahead and save. Okay, so in here, we can add a few modules. So let's first add a text module like that. We're going to give this a title to this page. So now that we've entered our text, the next thing now is to add another module. So as you can see here, I can't add my next module easily. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come to this little icon to the bottom here, and this is going to show all my layers. So I'm going to open up the last one, which is this one here. I'm going to go in and I can see here that we have this text. So I can now click on this little plus button, and this time I want a video module. I'm going to select it, and then I can just close out of here. Okay, so the next thing now is to add an overlay. So we're going to add an overlay image, and let's say our overlay image is perhaps maybe this one, upload image. There we go. So you can see here that this looks way much better. Now I'm going to come over here to design, and all I have to do now is to play around with my play icon. So I can change it around if I wanted to, but you know what? I think this is fine as it is. I may want to go in and adjust the custom size, maybe make it a bit smaller to about 80 pixels. And my overlay here can be adjusted. I think it's fine. This is the overlay. But what I normally do here is to go to border, and then I can just set this to 6 just to make this consistent with my images. So that's our video there. That's how you add it. So if you wanted to add a bit of description here as text, you can also do that. And then back over here, I'm just going to paste it as paragraph text. In fact, you know what? This is going to take me a bit longer because, all right, let's go ahead and fix that. So we're going to remove this from heading 3 to normal paragraph. I'm going to paste it. And as you can see, this is stretching too wide. So I'm going to come to design, sizing, and I'm going to reduce the width to about 70%, and then I'm going to center it. Now this text here doesn't look great, so I want to go in and make it bigger. So I'm going to click here on this little icon, go to design, and this is our heading text. So the quickest way to get to it is by hovering over here and then clicking on this little icon. So now we have 22 pixels. Let's go with 3 EM. All right, so that looks much better. Okay, so we have now our video on this page, and you can continue on and start adding all this beautiful information here. So just to make our headings consistent, we can also copy the style from here. I'm going to right click, copy module styles, and then I'm going to come over here, right click, and then paste module styles. Oops, that didn't work. Oh yeah, that's because this is not a heading. So let's go in and change this to heading. You can see here it's set to paragraph. There we go. So I think our style has been added. Double check. Yes, it's been added. So you can see here that this now is the same size. Pretty cool. All right, so before we can move on to working on the footer, I decided that we might need to add a few more things to main homepage to make it look a bit more professional and give it more information. All right, so what I'm going to go in and add another section. So let's enable the visual builder here. All right, so I'm going to scroll down here and I want to add it right here. So I'm going to click on this plus button. We're going to add a regular section, and in here we're going to add our first single column here, and then let's add a text module. I want this to be my section heading. Okay, so I'm just going to leave this like that for now. And then below this, I'm also going to add another set of rows. This time it's going to be 3. So in here, I'm going to add a blurb. Okay, so here we go. Now it's time to stylize this and make it look awesome. So first of all, I'm going to add some dummy text. In fact, that needs to go as a title. And then I'm going to add my description over here like that. Now I want all this centered, but before I can go in, let me just fix a few things here. So I'm going to click on this little brush icon here and center it. And I'm also going to make it all caps. And then I'm going to come to the description here, center it. Now over here, we have an image. I would like to have an icon. So let's go back, and instead of having an image here, I'm going to say use icon. So now I can search for whatever icon I need to use for this. So let's say we're going to go with this one here. Now let's stylize it. So we're going to come over here to the design tab, click on this little paintbrush icon, and now this is going to take us to our icon color. All right, so now we can add our colors. So the color I'm going to use here is a light gray, but of course you can use whatever color you want that works for you. Okay, now let's work on the size. So over here, I'm going to set this to 2 EM, and let's see what that looks like. Okay, so maybe let's increase it a little bit. All right, I think we'll go with 3. Now for the sizing, we want to make this 100%. So let's go in and type in 100%. Right, I think that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and save this. So what we're going to need now is 2 more of these. So I'm going to duplicate it like that, and then just drag this into position, drag the other one. And then what you want to do is to go in now and change the contents. Oops, it's the wrong place. Now let's head over here to the title. So I'm going to go in, click on this little icon here, paste my text. So let's set this to heading 2, center it, and then we're going to save. Now the other thing I may want to do here as well is to copy the styles from here. Right click, copy module styles, and then I want to come over here to the top and paste. Finally, let's give this section 6% padding. So we're going to come over here to design, go to spacing, and we're going to set this to 6%. So this just allows us breathing space, and we're going to apply this both to the top and the bottom. All right, so let's go ahead and save. Now, as we look at this, we can see that we have 2 sections here that are white. So there's 2 options. We can drag this to the top, so it can be between the 2 white sections. We have this one here with the light background, and then we have all courses here at the bottom. And then finally, we have the video one. But you know what? We can actually have a dedicated page for the courses. So let's delete this, all right? And then now this becomes a home page with just the contents. How about that? I mean, I actually think this looks much better. So all I have to do now is to go in and just give this a bit of padding here on the bottom because it's quite close. Yeah, let's go with 58. Okay, I think that looks better. So all you need to do now is to go in and change the icons, and pretty much our page is sorted. Okay, so the next step now is to add another page which is dedicated to just the courses. So let's go ahead and come over here and exit the visual builder. So what we're going to do now is to create the page just like how we did before, where we were using the template. Okay, so let's click on this plus button here and go to page. Right, so this page here is going to be called all courses, and we're going to use the default editor, and in here we're going to show the list of all the courses. So let's search for Learndash, and here we have course grid. There we go. So this one here, it shows quite a lot of information. It shows the total students, total lessons, quizzes, and so on. So this is something you can add if you'd like to. Just hit publish, and let's have a look and see if this is something that I would like to have. I'm going to open this in a new tab so that whenever I want to make some changes to it, then it would be much easier. Look at that. Actually, it's quite cool. I like it. I don't know. What do you guys think? But let's say you don't like it. In fact, you can also filter over here. Look at that. You can filter by price, and you can also add some keywords. I think this is really nice. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do now is I want to see other options. So let's go back in. Oh, there's a few things we can customize here. Look at that. So this grid here, we can have it as a lists. That's pretty cool. We also have templates. So here we've got grid 2. What does that look like? This is awesome. Okay, let's look for another one. Let's go to grid 3. Look at that. It's got the price, it's got the name of the tutor, and then it says continue to study. So there's 3 options. I mean, there's quite a few options here, and we can also adjust the column width. So let's say 300. Look at that. It's pretty cool. So I want to set this to 280, and I want to set these as maybe 3 columns. Yeah, I think 3 columns will do. Per row, let's have 3. How about that? Pretty cool. Now we also have other things that we can go in and customize here. We have the query, we have courses here, post per page. We have quite a lot of information here. We also have elements here. So the content, the thumbnail size, we also have the meta description here. We have the progress bar. So once we activate it, you can see here that it's going to show the progress, which is pretty awesome. I like this. And then we also have some styles. So here we can go in and change a few things, but I think mine is good as it is. I'm going to go ahead and click on update. Okay, so as you can see, we've gone in and we've made our main courses page look awesome. Now I'm going to click on view page. In fact, we have it open here. Why don't we go in and, okay, anyway, it's right here. So now let's say that someone is not logged in. What do they see? So let's open this new incognito window and take a look at it. Right, so you see now it changes to enroll now. See, and now it goes to the course page itself, and as you can see here, you won't have access to this because you are not enrolled. So you would need to take the course here, purchase it, and then you'll be able to log in. So as I look at this now, you can see here that there are some pages that are missing. So I want to go in and fix that quickly. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to my dashboard, and we are going to go to appearance, and then we're going to go to customize. So we're going to come over here to header and navigation, primary header. So here I want to make this bold because I don't like the way it looks here. So I'm going to change it over here, make it bold. We're going to publish that, and then we're going to close out of here. Now the links that we have there are also not the links that I want to see. So I'm going to come over here to appearance, and then I'm going to go to menus. So over here on the menus, we have all courses. So we're going to add this to the menu. So this page is very important. Reset password. Do we need this over here? I don't think so. Let's get rid of it. Okay, dashboard. Perhaps dashboard is important. Let's add it back. Okay, there we go. We're going to save. All right. So our menu now is sorted. So let's take a look. Okay. So this looks much better now. So you can see here, this is our main page, and here's our video. And then if we go to all courses, guess what? Here's what we see. This is where all our courses are going to be, and it is pretty cool. And then on the contact, we also have our contact form. And then on our dashboard, it shows all our information. Isn't that awesome? So now the final thing is to work on the footer and just design it and make it look awesome. And pretty much we are, I'll say, almost there, because a few of the things that we need to do are to register for the Stripe to take our payments. But I may also show you how to add WooCommerce if you want to perhaps add other payment gateways other than PayPal and Stripe. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is to work on the footer. So I'm going to come over here to my dashboard. We're going to come all the way down here to Divi, and then we're going to go to Theme Builder, and we are just going to go to the global footer here. Right, so first things first, let's add our columns. So I'm going to go with a single column. I'm going to add a text module. So we are going to pretend that these are all our page links, and if you want to link this, you can just highlight it like that, and then you want to click on this chain icon, and this will be the URL to whatever page you want to link to. Okay, so that's my first example. So what I'm going to do next is to close out of here and give this a background color. So I'm going to go over here. We're going to set this to a very dark gray. So I'm just going to adjust it over here like that. Okay, that's great. And then I'm also going to add another section. It's going to be a regular single column, and we're going to add a text module. Right, so what we're going to do with this is something slightly different. We're going to go with site title, and then we're going to come over here, and then before, we're just going to add copyright, and then space, and then we're going to add this pipe, and then after, we're going to space, and then the pipe, and then we're going to say designed by Mac. How about that? So we may need to add a bit more spaces here, and then we're going to save. And then over here on the design, I want to make this slightly smaller. Yeah, we're going to go with 16, and we are going to change the color here as well. Now, I don't want it completely white, but I want it off gray like that. And then we are going to save. Right, so over here, we're going to need a background. So here we can just go with the very, very dark gray, darker than what we have at the top, like that. And for the spacing, let's add 0 padding. See what that looks like. Okay, that looks great. And then I'm going to save. And then over here, I am going to add 6%, because remember, this is what we've been using all this time. So we're going to go to spacing, add 6% top and bottom, and then we are going to save. So when we come back over here, we can actually go in and add, let's go into the text. We can add, let's say, about us, like that. And we can set this to heading 4, maybe. How about that? There we go. So now that we've set this to heading 4, we can actually go in and customize heading 4. But before we do that, let's add our links here. And these are our fake links, because I want to make sure I get the color right as I'm building my footer. Okay, add a fake link again, like that. Click OK. All right, so now that I have all this, I can now go in and play around with my design. I'm going to make this all caps. I'm going to make it bigger, 1.4 EM. Yep, let's make it bold. And what I'm also going to do is to add a bit of letter spacing. Right, the size is a bit too much here. Bring it down a little bit. Yeah, I think that will do. And then I'm going to go to my colors now, and I just need to adjust this like that. So this is 77777. So let's do the same over here. We're going to go to our text, and this is our link. And then we're going to go to our recent colors, and that's going to be our colors. Next, I also want to add a line height. Is this working? Oh yeah, it's working. So let's increase this. Okay, let's go with 2.4. Right, and now we have our footer. So all you have to do now is to go in and change what we have in here. And let's say this one here is a social media one. You can just go in and change this. So let's say you delete all that, and then you want to add your social media icons, and here they are. So you can start adding them. So you duplicate this, you go into the settings, and then you can choose the network. So let's say we already have Facebook. So maybe we want to go for YouTube, and then finally we may want to add WhatsApp. So again, we're going to click on this gear icon and choose WhatsApp. So it's right here. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead now and save. So as you can see, we have our footer on the bottom of all the pages. So if I go to dashboard, again, you see you have our footer, because this has been applied across the whole website. Look at that. Pretty cool. Now, when we take a look at our site, there's something very interesting that is happening here. Now, remember, we created our dashboard page, which shows all the information about the students. But when someone is not logged in, it's not showing the information. So I want to show you something that we can do to fix this. But before I do that, over here, I'm in incognito mode. So definitely I'm not logged in. So if someone clicks here on the dashboard, notice what happens. It's just showing this white space here. But we don't want that, because we want at least a message here that tells us what to do next if they try to access the dashboard. Okay, so what we're going to do now is take a look at this when someone is logged in. Now, in my case, I am logged in and it's showing all the information, right? So at least we want a message here. So for example, you can see here that I'm in incognito mode. So when I go to the dashboard, it says here, you need to be logged in to view your dashboard, and then the login button, right? If we are in our normal state where we are logged in, this is what it will show, but it won't show that message. So to achieve that, the first thing you need to do is to install a plugin called Spectra. So let me show you how to do that. You're going to come over here to WordPress, and we're going to come over here to plugins and then click on add new plugin. So the plugin that we need is called Spectra. It's absolutely free. So there we go, Spectra, and here it is. So you can see mine is active. So this adds extra Gutenberg blocks. This is the power of this plugin. All right, so let's say we're on this page now. If we click on edit page, here we are. So what I've done is I've gone in and added a section by coming over here to add a container. So this is the section. This is a paragraph text, and this is a button. So this is just a basic button, nothing complicated here. And on the content, by the way, I forgot to add the link to log in. Okay, so let's go and add that link. So ideally, we want that when someone clicks on that link, they go to the login page. All right. So over here, you click on login, and then this is where you need to add your link, just like that. Click on update. But the most important part is when you select the whole section here, look what happens. You want to come over here to advanced, and then you want to go to display conditions. And then over here, you click on user state. Normally it's a none. So you want to go to user state, and then you want to say hide from logged in users. And then over here, hide from logged out users. You want to make sure it's disabled. So that's the only setting that you need to do. And once you're done with that, if you click on update, this is going to show, it's going to show when you're logged out, but when you're logged in, it's not going to show. So this is how it works. So again, if you take a quick look here, here's our page. It's not showing, but if I go to incognito mode, file, new incognito mode, and I paste that, now that message is going to show. There we go. So I can now click on login, and this should take me to my login page. Look at that. And now I can go in and log into my website. Now, isn't that cool? Now, while we're on this page, there's a few things that we can add to enhance our dashboard as well. And Learndash comes with so many features. It also has all your points. So if you're collecting points on this page, you can actually add them on here. So what I'm going to add is something basic. So let's add another module. So we're going to click here on this plus button, search for Learndash. So it looks like we don't have the option that I'm looking for, but if there is something that you want to add, Learndash related, you can always come over here to the shortcodes, and there's a lot of things here. You can see here Learndash course progress. We also have course points. So if you, let's say, add some points, it can display your earned points on your dashboard. So if you copy this code over here, we can come and add the points. So let's say, click here on this plus button. Let's add a code module. So this is the short code. We paste it in here. Okay, so now that our short code is added, we're going to take it to the top because that's where we want to show our points. I'm going to hit update. And now when we take a look at this page, earned points equals 0. But if I had all my points set, this is where I would see all my points that I have accumulated as I am learning throughout this course. So as you can see, we have actually built a complete online course website using Divi and Learndash. So what's important here as well is you need to choose the right hosting. And if you purchase any of these products using my affiliate link, I will give you access to Divi University, where you get to learn more about how to use Divi. So if you purchase a SiteGround, Divi, or Learndash, I will give you access to Divi University. All you have to do is to send me an email and I will enroll you on Divi University. And by the way, Divi University also uses Learndash. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again in the next one. Take care.